case you weren't clear in the title, this is all makeup. Hey guys, it's Abbie from Make Life Your Runway, and I'm here with my 2021 Makeup Empties. This is 100% empties of makeup. It's makeup. It's all makeup. So if you're curious how much makeup I went through last year, then just keep watching. Here we go. In case you weren't clear in the title, this is all makeup. Well, I will say that this isn't the only makeup that has left my collection. I have decluttered makeup, meaning I've passed it along to friends. Makeup has expired. Some was use it or lose it that I didn't completely finish. So I got a lot more makeup has moved out of my collection in the last year. You can watch my declutters and you can watch my inventory. I didn't buy as much makeup last year as I have in years past. So I did pretty good with numbers. But it's really important to me to continue to use makeup and to get my money's worth out of it and not waste it. So keeping it all year long is a fun way to do that. So I have this full basket of makeup that I have finished 100%. And I will say there are a lot of primers and powders in here, because that's primarily, you know, with wearing a mask, how I was making my makeup be set, stay in place. And you know, I had to touch it up today, so it might look a little bit rough, but I have worked a full day, so filming this at night, I touched it up. But you know, it's hard because I've had to wear a mask for most of the day and all of that. So I'm going to divide this up so it's in categories, and then we can go through each category and I'll just hold it up and talk about it, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I have it all laid out to the side. So the first thing that I just kept in this bin are sponges. I went through 7-ish. Sometimes I forget that I'm saving them, but the ones I remember to save are 7. So I really like the e.l.f. and the L'Oreal ones. They look similar, so I can never remember like which is which. So those are good. I actually like the Real Technique ones. I bought a large pack of them, and that's primarily what I use, but you can see like after a while you can't really clean them anymore and they get like torn and stuff. So I used up 3 of those. And then this is one that's I believe it's Real Techniques, but it's one that's like velvety. I've had this for quite some time. Yeah, it is Real Techniques. I just couldn't remember, like I couldn't really figure out a groove, but you're supposed to use it with powder, and I don't know, I just could never like make it work. And then this one was gifted to me like in a big box of makeup that was given to me, and I have no idea what kind it is, but it's like, it's hard, kind of. I don't know. I didn't get along with it very well. But Real Techniques, e.l.f. and L'Oreal are my go-tos. I do really like Beauty Blender, but that price point, y'all. That price point, I just can't unless it's on sale. So this is just a little reminder to you guys to be changing out your sponges, keep them clean, and get rid of them when they look disgusting. Okay. Alright, so that was 7 sponges. Next we're going to go through primers. And I went through a good bit of primers this year. If you've been following my channel for a while, I've been talking about how I'm working through primers and foundations, and eventually I'll work through concealers, because those are categories that expire pretty quickly, but they're also easy to like grow those parts of your category. I just posted last week my project pan, my annual project pan for this year, and in there, spoiler if you missed it, I am doing a big foundation, use it or lose it. And in the comments of that video, there were a few of you that are like, oh my gosh, same, like my foundation collection has gotten so big and I just need to start working through it. So that's how it was for primers for me in 2021, so it'll be foundations for me in 2022. So we have quite a bit here. I'll just kind of randomly grab them since I'm awkwardly holding them. So first up is Laura Mercier. This is Radiance Primer, and I really, really, really like this primer from them. They've repackaged, and I don't know if that means they've reformulated, so I haven't tried that one. But I am in love with this, and I'm willing to try the new formulation out at some point. And then I also went through a mini size of the exact same thing. So I like that this is hydrating. It kind of applies like a moisturizer, but it also leaves like a beautiful glow that wears well underneath foundation. Speaking of luminous primer, this one is from VDL. It was just a little sample size, but it was nice. I don't think I like it enough to repurchase it, but it was cool to try it out. Then I had a sample of the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better primer plus oil-free makeup gripping base. Again, it was okay. I enjoyed using the sample, but it's not a go-to for me. Truly, my go-tos are like this Laura Mercier type, and also this other one that I finished, which is Too Faced. This is Hangover RX, but this is the major Hangover because it's like a massive version of it. I've gone through so many of these over the years, and once I get my primers down to the point that I need to repurchase one, this would definitely be another one for me to repurchase in addition to the Laura Mercier. This one's like luminous. This one's just like a moisturizer. So if you have dry skin like I do, or combo skin, this is just an additional moisturizer on your face that the makeup does stick really well to. So both great options for my dry skin loves out there. And then the last one that I finished up is Touch in Sol No Problem Primer. And this isn't one that I absolutely love, but when I was painting it, I was using it exclusively, and I did get into a good rhythm with it. It's hydrating, but it also has like a little silicone feel to it, and that's just not my favorite feel for a primer, but it was nice. I currently am working through Revlon, their old package one that is very similar to this, so I'll get to relive a version of this here soon. So we went through 1, 2, 3 full size and then 3 mini primers for 2021. So pretty good. Okay, we just got to get this category out of the way, which is mascaras. Hopefully you are changing your mascaras out every 3, 4, maybe 5 months. Don't go past 5 months, guys. Don't do it. And sometimes it's better just to buy cheaper ones so you don't feel as guilty about getting rid of them at 3 months. And even if they got like a little bit of life, maybe stretch it to 4, but after that you should really get rid of it, because it's like, you know, like bacteria and stuff on your eyes. It's just concerning because it, you know, sometimes it actually touches your eye accidentally if you're me. But let's go through them real quick. Mascaras are very personalized, so I don't want to spend a lot of time because ultimately you have a good idea what works for you. Maybelline Sky High. I had to try this because of the hype, and I did enjoy it. It is one I would repurchase in the future. The classic IT Cosmetics Superhero. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I wouldn't pay full price for it, but you know, it's often on sale, so I would definitely grab it during a sale if I was in need of a mascara. This is, I believe, L'Oreal Bambi Eyes. This was okay. I would repurchase it, but it's not like a love or a favorite. And the wand is stuck. I was going to show you the wand, but oh, there we go. It's like a thicker wand, and thicker wands are not my favorite because I stab my eyes with them, whereas this IT Cosmetics is more of like an hourglass. Well, it's like a thinner, sorry. I was thinking it was hourglass, but it's not. It's like a thinner one. And then this other one, the Sky High, is like similar to the IT Cosmetics. It's pretty thin, maybe a little bit thinner, about the same. So that's kind of my preference for mascara, is that the wands are a little bit thinner and the formula is a little bit drier. I tried the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer, And this is nice. It's affordable. These kind of products are nice if you want to like buy makeup to play with, but you don't necessarily need makeup. If you kind of just go into a different category. Primers aren't something that I necessarily remember to use, and sometimes it's an extra step that I don't have time for, but it's fun to buy them from time to time. This is the Flower Lash Warrior Mascara. I did not really, I mean, this was fine. I didn't love it. I found it was really dry, and the brush was, it's like so sharp, like a little scary sharp. I want to try the version of this mascara that's super popular, but this one was just okay. The Laura Geller Drama Lash, I didn't like this one. The wand, again, is super fat and scary, and it just kind of went everywhere when I used it, so I would not give that another go. And then I had two samples. One was the Thrive Cosmetics. This is a fiber infused mascara, and it like coats your lashes, so when it comes off, it like comes off in chunks. Not your lashes, but the mascara. I like how it's a thinner wand. This is very similar to one by, I believe, L'Oreal. It's like white on one side, red on the other. That used to be like years ago my go-to, and it's very similar to this. So I'm definitely going to repurchase that here soon the next time I need a mascara. And then I had Dior Show sample size. Oh, this was good. Okay, this is definitely like luxe, high-end, that kind of thing. But I do like these kind of curved wands because it's just not easy to like get into your eye. But I did really like this, and if it were on sale one day, I would consider purchasing it, but I'm not gonna go spend full price on it. So total, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6 full size, and then we had 2 minis, and that checks out because I do my makeup in 2 places. So, yeah, I keep them for about 3 months and switch them out. So yeah, that was perfect. Like, switching out my mascaras throughout the year, so that was great. Alright, so for brows, we have the Wonder Brow. This one is in taupe. I really like this. I have bought 2 of these. I've gone through 2 and replaced them. No, I'm on my 3rd one. So I wore it today, not this tube, but the one that I replaced it with, and you can definitely get quick wearable eyebrows with it, but you can also get extreme crazy eyebrows, so you have to be very careful with it. But I like that it lasts all day. I'm a full-time personal trainer, so my job is literally to like sweat. So I taught a class earlier, and I was sweating all throughout the class, and I didn't touch up my eyebrows, and I think they still look great. So I like having this. Benefit Gimme Brow, this one is in 3. This has always been like my favorite. But the e.l.f. Wow Brow is like just as good, and it's only $4, where this is like $24. So again, if Ulta had it during one of their sales, I would consider picking it up. But otherwise, I think I've replaced it for now. But I went through only 2 brow products, which is crazy because I had a few in my project pan, but they're just something I rotate too often that I didn't actually get to finish one. So 2's not bad. Alright, we have setting sprays. This is another part or another category of my collection that I have really worked through, and I'm down to just a few, and I'm going to continue to work through them because, again, just like primers and foundations, I really just use one at a time. So why not just own 1 or 2 at a time, power through them, and then you can actually use more, because if you're only using one, then you're going to get through it quicker. Are you following my logic? Okay, so we've gone through a few here. The Wet n Wild, this was the Coconut 3-in-1. I love this stuff so much. I've purchased it so many times over the years. I believe the coconut one is discontinued, but even if you get the regular one, the formula is consistent. It's just the scent that changes, and these bottles are so good. So I'll keep this bottle, and anytime I get a setting spray that the nozzle that it comes with isn't great, I'll just pour it in here. So I finished that one, and then Wet n Wild had a line this year that was different like scents, but this one was the in love with cocoa, so it literally smelled like chocolate, like the Too Faced chocolate bar chocolate, like that kind of chocolate. So to spray it over the face was kind of like an interesting experience, but the scent didn't linger very long. And again, the formula is the same as all the others, it's just a different scent. Two others, kind of a similar situation, but different brand. Okay, this is Milani Make It Last, and they had some flavored ones that came out over the last couple of years. I believe these particular ones are discontinued, at least at this point in time. But this is the Milani Fruit Fetish line, and this one is in Mango Coconut. So similarly, this formula is just like Make It Last, the regular one, like consistent. It's just a different scent that they put into it, and I really did enjoy this scent. And then I got another one because I enjoyed it so much, which is Dragon Fruit Peach. And again, it was one of their scented ones in the Make It Last. And I have the normal Make It Last, like this classic one. And the formulas, in my opinion, are exactly the same. Again, it's just a scent that they've added to it. And then Max, this is a Fix Plus Magic Radiance. It's like a little sample guy. But honestly, this sample's so small. Like, okay, there's a little bit in there, but like I have sprayed out everything that can be sprayed out, and I feel like it wasn't enough to get like a full feeling on it, so whatever. I went through 4 full size and 1 sample of the setting spray, so look at me go. Ooh, ooh. I believe I have 1, 2, about 5 setting sprays in my collection, and 1 is Urban Decay All Nighter, which I will always have in my collection, so that doesn't count. So I have like 4. So we have foundations that we went through. The Revlon Candid Glow, this one is in 120 Buff. This actually was pretty good. It's very similar to a skin tint, maybe like slightly more coverage than a skin tint, but not much more. So this is like very non-coverage. So if you like that, or if that's your preference or whatever, I think you would like it. And the glow is very subtle. But if you like coverage, then you would be disappointed in that. Next, it's the Wet n Wild Photo Finish Stick Foundation. This one's so nice. It's a medium coverage, and it's a really nice stick foundation. It's one that I would consider repurchasing down the road. I don't have a ton of experience with stick foundations, but this one was nice. And the color is Soft Ivory, and that was a good color match for me. And then the third one is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. This one is in 12 in Bare Neutral. I've gone through 2 of these and I do enjoy them. It's like a liquid, very liquidy foundation. Kind of like a serum foundation, and it has a medium coverage that is buildable. You can put a couple layers on your face and it doesn't look too bad or too cakey. So for foundations, we have gone through 3. Are you guys keeping count, like, of everything? The sponges, the primers, the brows, the mascaras, the primers, the foundations, like, where are we at? I'll count at the end, but I'm curious, like, pause the video. Where are we at right now? Okay, I only went through 1 concealer last year, which is crazy. This is category in years past that I've gotten through a lot, but I mentioned I have makeup in 2 places. One is a Makeup Basket Express in my bathroom for quick makeup looks. So I'm only in there about 3 days a week doing makeup, and I have Too Faced in there. Actually, I have it right here. The Too Faced Born This Way. Mine is an almond. You can see I'm starting to scrape the sides, but this legit took me all last year, and I'm still getting a ton of product out. Like, I used this today and it's still a ton of product. So I thought for sure I'd be able to finish it in there, but I haven't. So this was the only foundation that I used in that Makeup Basket Express. And then I guess in here I just rotated enough that I wasn't finishing any. So this is the only one. So this is the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer, and mine's in number 2, and it was a little bit dark for me. I bought this around the time it was hyped, or a little bit after it was hyped, and I just didn't really feel that excitement that other people felt for it, but I worked through it. I took the stopper out, got everything out of it. Definitely not something I would repurchase in the future, but I'm glad that I got my money's worth out of it, so that feels good. Hold the phone. I was looking for my powder finishes, the powders I finished, and I found another Wonder Brow. So here's the second one that I have finished. So I've used up 2 total, both in brunette. Yeah, both in brunette. And the third one that I have that I'm wearing today is also in brunette. So that's actually 3 brow products. So adjust your tallies. Thank you. Okay, so powders. Like I said, this was a pretty big category for me this year. But I also, because I was going through so many powders, ended up purchasing a lot of powders. But I'm actually, you guys will see probably in a month, I'm about to finish up 2 more. And then I have another one that already has pan on it. So the ball's still rolling here. The ball's still rolling. So I, for a long time, was into pressed face powders. Then I was really into loose powders, and then this year I got back into pressed, and now I just love them both, but pressed has been where it's at. So we went through 5 powders this year, which is like crazy. So let's go through them. The first is Hourglass Ambient Dim Light. This is one of my favorites, and I'll definitely have another Hourglass powder in my life again, like a full size. I have a couple of their palettes that I'm working through, but I'll definitely have a full size. This is one product that I don't mind paying full price for because the product is so like finely milled that you don't use very much, and there's not a lot of kick up, so it literally lasts you a long time. I think I had this one something like 3 years, and I finally finished it up. So we love a good Luxe powder. Actually, a lot of these are kind of expensive. So the next one, oh my gosh, I love this, and this will be in my life again at some point. This is the Makeup Forever, the Matte Velvet Skin. Mine is in Y225, which was a really good color match for me. Oh, it did like crumble a little bit, but this is when you can just replace the pan. So I'll definitely just replace the pan and reuse the compact, but I love this stuff so much. It's this is what really got me back into powders, and especially wearing them as foundations, which that part was new to me. So wearing concealer and then a powder over it, and then doing like a light blush and highlight. I just find that formula for me works really well under mask, and there isn't a lot of rubbing from the makeup, and if there is, because it's not a like fuller coverage like liquid, you can't tell as much where the mask rubbed. So that's what I love about it, and I will definitely have this in my life again at some point. Then I have the IT Cosmetics Celebration Illumination foundation. This one is in light, and this is actually the second one I've gone through over the years, and yeah, we really like scraped that one out. Again, similar to the Makeup Forever, this is one you can do concealer, and then this as foundation, and then, you know, put on whatever product you want on top. So freaking pretty. Both of those powders do work well as like a setting powder as well, or to tap over like a pressed powder over your foundation. Like, there's just so many uses to them that I love them. Next up, we have Laura Mercier. This is translucent powder, and it is a pressed one. And again, I use that completely up. I enjoyed it. Not enough to repurchase it, but my run with it was nice. And then this is Beauty Pie One Powder Wonder. This was a favorite a couple years back, and then I neglected it, and then I wanted to see if I could pan it. I didn't really get as much around the edges, but I figured we did pretty good. We did pretty good, so I'm just calling it done. You know, it's funny because I had that somewhere where I loved it. Then I put it away, pulled it back out, and I was like, that's okay. But this was nice with the mask to do like just a finish powder. to mattify my face a little bit through here. So with the mask, it wore nicely. So that's 5 powders that we've gone through. 2, well, maybe 3 of which I would consider repurchasing one day. I don't feel like any of these I need to run out and always have them in my collection, especially because I added so many pressed powders to my collection last year, but they're definitely favorites that down the road you probably will see them in my collection again. So blush, bronzers, and highlights are impossible to use up unless you already have one that has like a good amount of pan in it and then you just like drive it home. But they're hard. They're really hard to use up. But I finished one of each. So the first one is Tarte. This is like a mini size or deluxe sample size. This one isn't exposed. And this was my favorite for so long. There is a little bit around the edges, but we're calling it done. I just really enjoyed it. Not that I feel I need it in my collection again, but I enjoyed my time with it. So that's the highlighter that we finished up. And then a bronzer. This one took me years to completely finish. This is the Urban Decay Beach Bronzer in Sunkissed. Again, a little bit around the edges, but I'm going to call it done. I'm not really one to like repress makeup. So once it gets here, I, for my sake, call it done. I've pressed it before and it didn't really work out and it was a mess, and I just don't enjoy makeup if it's a mess like that. I figured just a little bit around the edge is fine. We're good. And then we have a Ciate blush. This packaging is so pretty, but this one is in Summer Love. And this one is completely done, but I will say the pan, this is like a baked blush, fell out. So I was constantly sitting it back in. So as I wore it down, it would crumble. So I did lose a little bit in crumbles, but for the most part, I wore this like 50% of last year and it was so nice. And I do have it again in my collection, but this is definitely a really pretty blush. So that's 3 products total in the face powder category. Okay, and the last little bit are lips. So I like Aquaphor for my lips. This one is the lip repair, but I actually just have like the big container of the gel that I put on my lips, but this one is nice. Then I went through, some of these aren't completely empty, but they have fallen off and I got pretty... okay, I got okay use, but I wanted to show you this as a reminder. This is the Maybelline Superstay Crayon. Look how gross that is. I'm pretty sure that's like, it's just colored. I don't know what that is exactly. And it's nothing against this product. It's just old. Alright, so it's not Maybelline. But just a reminder to you to make sure your lipsticks are okay. Check in with them. And the first thing you know is if the smell's off, because it will smell like crayons. Start there. You might not have to go beyond that. But then if you're like, well, it kind of smells good, but it's kind of old, then roll it up and see how it's looking. And then you can make decisions from that point on. Alright, these two, I have used them not every day. Look at me being dramatic. I've used them a lot over the years, and they've gone bad, and I've already repurchased them. So we have the Too Faced Matte. This one is in Queen Bee. It's one of my favorites. It's hard to see how much is left. Like, you can see a little bit through the sides, but like I said, I've used it so much over the years that I have already, yep, I have the new one right here. She's fresh, ready to roll. She smells good. She's not gross. So we have that one. And then the other one is the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink. I really like these. This one's in Philosopher, but this one had gone off. I've had it for years, but I've already have its replacement right here. This particular color 100 Philosopher is not available at Ulta, but CVS has it. I didn't even see it in, oh my gosh, woo! I didn't see it on Amazon, but Amazon has 3-packs. That maybe it's in a 3-pack, but I didn't see it on its own on Amazon. On its own, at Amazon, on Amazon. All right, let's math it. We got 7 sponges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 primers. I'm just gonna count the minis as 1. Okay, we have 3 brows. Mascaras, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Setting sprays, 5. Foundations, we had 3. Concealers was 1. Setting powders was 5. And then we had the 1 of each of primer, whatever. No, bronzer, blush, highlight, 3. And then we had 4 lips. Okay, I miscounted. 1 more primer than I said. That is so satisfying. Oh my gosh. This is how many 45 makeup items is what we went through in 2021. How many is that a month? If we were to average, if we were averaging people, that's about 3, we'll just round up 4 products a month. That's pretty good, right? Is it possible to use more than 4 a month? Would you have to use the same things? Yeah, I feel good about 45 products that were 100% used up. Oh, that one lip product. Those lip products were like that's a gray area. We could disagree on that, but we're just gonna say 45 products that I used up completely, 100% out of my collection. Got my monies used out of it. Like, that feels pretty dang good. I don't remember what I did last year. I filmed it like the last 2 or 3 years, but the noggin doesn't remember what we did, so I'll have to go back and see. But 45 is pretty good. Alright guys, thank you so much for being here. This was the last video of our January series of getting caught up. We did inventory at the end of December. My makeup inventory was part of Vlogmas. We did a Project Pan finale for 2021. We did a Project Pan intro for 2022. And then we did our Makeup Empties. So I think that's everything that is included for like just kind of wrapping up last year and then starting Project Pans for this year. But let me know. Husband just walked into the kitchen.
Sorry.
Let me know if I missed a video. I'm not planning on doing a end of year favorites because I didn't really purchase a ton last year, but my friend and I just last week posted a makeup favorites. If you're in the mood to watch favorites, then you can go check out that video. Otherwise, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications. We're gonna roll into new content in the next couple of weeks. I have a few ideas, so we'll see what ends up happening. You guys will know first, okay? You'll know first. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!